This video is about how the shaman influences culture, how the shaman controls culture. First of all, the shaman doesn't really control culture. The shaman just does his thing. The shaman is simply being a shaman. He doesn't need culture. That's the whole point of being a shaman, is that you're outside culture. He doesn't want to influence culture particularly, because that would draw him into culture, and it's not exactly an easy thing to do either. But shamans do influence culture, and this is how they do it. Essentially all culture is people copying each other. So when someone's got a survival mechanism that other people don't have, and it's a good one, people will copy it, and won't necessarily copy it wholesale. They might just take the bits that are most relevant to them and copy them. So culture is propagated through copying, and copying is done because it's easier often to copy than it is to originate. But the shaman isn't a copy, he's an originator, and I'm talking about a pure shaman here. I'm not talking about necessarily a realistic shaman, but the pure in the ideal sense of the word shaman. The shaman is not a copier, he's an originator. Perhaps copies his own things, but you can see him as an artist, as an originator of ideas. And so what happens is, because culture is propagated through copying, all the shaman has to do really is to express himself, put himself into a position where he can be copied, or at least parts of what he's doing can be copied. And then culture or other people will copy him, as long as it's in their interest to do so. The shaman can't expect everyone to copy everything he's doing, or anything he's doing for that matter. Culture has to have a need for it. People have to have a need for it. And it can't be too complex, obviously, because copying complex things is harder than copying simple things. So the shaman really just has to express himself in a way that's copyable. So there has to be a need, there has to be a desire to copy the thing, there has to be simplicity in the way it's expressed by the shaman, or if not simplicity in totality, but simplicity of the elements that are being expressed, so they can be taken individually if necessary. And of course the shaman has to express himself in some format predefined by culture. So this can be viewed as a form of art. So what I'm talking about, I guess, is the artistic aspect of shamanism. If the shaman wishes to expose his wisdom to culture, he's going to have to express it artistically, which is totally fine. So this really means that the shaman requires the courage to express himself, and the sense to express himself in a way that's going to be understandable